Alright, here we are. Day one, actually. We came one day earlier. We did Vancouver yesterday. And then now it's like 5:30 in the morning. We'll be on the train at about 7. Today is the 16th. Aloha. See you on the train. Or we'll be loading up. Aloha. Time now is 6:52. We were supposed to meet here at 6:50, so it looks like we all running on time. We're on the transfer vehicle heading out to the Mountanier now. So I'll see you guys there at the train station.
Welcome to the transfer to the Rocky Mountaineer station. We will leave in a couple minutes. Once Paul joins us, then we'll be on our way, and it's about a 10 to 12 minute drive. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the last view of Vancouver. And I do know it's early, so thank you so much for getting up really early. But I know you will have a fabulous day on the train. So until then, enjoy the ride. Welcome to the transfer to the Rocky Mountaineer station. We will leave in a couple minutes. Once Paul joins us, then we'll be on our way, and it's about a 10 to 12 minute drive. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the last view of Vancouver. And I do know it's early, so thank you so much for getting up really early. But I know you will have a fabulous day on the train. So until then, enjoy the ride. So bike to work all the time, so he really supports biking and cyclists, and so lots of Vancouver has biking lanes now,
Awesome.
which is very great, but it does make traffic more dense, which is not great.
Ride a bike.
Vancouver is trying to be the greenest city by 2020. That probably will not happen, but we still are trying to be as green as
In the shape of the Coliseum.
from the old location to this one. Now to our left, we have the old postage.
Postage
Post
building?
office. My apologies. We're doing a major renovation.
They're renovating it.
And it'll be the new Amazon building.
Wow.
This is a really historical building, and it was the center of the postage in Western Canada. And inside was all marble flooring and walls, and beautiful mosaics inside. So we've had a lot of help deconstructing this building to save a lot of the artwork originally there.
Wow.
And now we're entering the sports district of Vancouver. So here in Vancouver we have 2 stadiums, one on the left coming up and one on the right. And on the right we have BC Play Stadium, and this is a removable roof, one of the largest in North America.
Wow, removable.
In 2010 we hosted the Winter Olympics, and that was the location for our opening ceremony, and the closing as well actually. And we have a beautiful view coming onto the right and the left, so look both ways.
Wow.
So on the right we have an area called False Creek. And False Creek is named because the first explorers, one in particular named George Richards, he thought this would be the main entryway, like a main entry waterway for heading into the mainland. But he was pleasantly surprised when it ended right about here. That's why they named it False Creek.
False Creek.
And also on the right, shortly we'll see a tower of stacked cars on that stump. And that is a Vancouver artist's way of saying parking in Vancouver
Wow, cool.
is dreadful.
Wow.
Also on the right, you might have seen the SkyTrain. So the SkyTrain was built in 1986 for our World Expedition that we had hosted. And actually, the World Expedition was my parents' first date. That's where it all began.
And the crew at the station will get you all boarded. That'll begin around 7:30. There's a couple of things we'll go over on our way to this station. The boarding passes that I issued you either this morning or last night, that's the only document you'll need. So around 7:30, you'll get introduced to your train manager, and we'll indicate which direction you'll need to head to board your rail coach, as the train is quite long. So you could refer to your boarding passes briefly, I'll give a quick explanation of it. On the bottom left-hand side, in bold
So there we are, the Rocky Mountaineer. We're getting ready to board pretty soon. Some live entertainment right now. This is the crew.
Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rocky Mountaineer. We're about to begin boarding for this morning's train departure. If you require any assistance, please let one of our team know and we'll be very happy to assist you. Please refer to your boarding pass for your car and seat assignment. If you're traveling to Banff and Lake Louise tomorrow in cars seating 1 your cars are situated on the right. In CD7, your car is in front of you. You can exit through the right-hand doors. If you're seated in CB8, your car is directly in front of you. If you're seated in CB9 to CB15, you can exit through the left-hand doors and proceed down the platform.
We are in CB9.
At this time, it's my great pleasure to introduce to you one of your trainers, Barry Crawford.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to the September 16th departure of the Rocky Mountaineer. We have a very long train today, the longest of the season, as a matter of fact. So we have 2 train managers on board. I'll be taking care of the front of the train, and Mr. Robin Jaw will be the train manager for the back end of the train. So we are excited to have you on board. The crew is looking forward to welcoming you on board. As a matter of fact, they're waiting out on the platform to get you on board. But just before we do that, we're going to have the ceremonial sounding of the whistle. And I've got 2 guests, Mr. and Mrs. Hedren, who are going to help us with that. And they are celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary. Birthdays, they're not old enough for an anniversary. It's his 60th birthday. So they're going to help me with the sounding of the whistle. We're going to sound it twice, and then all of us together will say all aboard, all right? Are you ready for that? Okay, I thought you were looking good for that. Okay. Yes, good. Okay, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
days. They're going to be serving you breakfast and lunch and all those culinary delights. And then right in front of me here we have Adam.
Hello.
And my name is Darren.
Darren, hi Darren.
And myself and Adam, we're going to be staying upstairs, taking care of you with drink services, as well as providing commentary about all the regions, the geography, and the history of the places that we travel through. So tons of exciting stuff from the four of us over the next 2 days, but something even more exciting, Transport Canada's safety regulations. So ladies and gentlemen, as we begin our journey, I would like to review our safety features with you. In the unlikely event of an emergency, remain
Good morning.
Wow, look at that.
Good morning. My name is Wade. I'll be your manager on board as we make our way to beautiful Kamloops.
This is Royce right
Canadian
here.
Rockies.
Thank you, Royce.
You're very welcome. Good. How's the temperature?
Fantastic.
Okay, great. So in a moment, we are going to back the train up for about 600 meters before moving forward, just because of the way that our station is. Downstairs, also where you boarded, is the look around. It's a your traveling companions into a spectacular journey on the Rocky Mountaineer. Cheers.
Cheers.
Good morning. Welcome aboard, everybody.
Good, the orange juice.
If you like counting long trains, today I would save it till tomorrow. We're going to see some of these, like these container trains is a good example. Today we're going to be on the other side of the river from most of the trains that we'll see. So if you like to count those long trains, save your counting skills for tomorrow because we'll be right beside them.
What is the most you have ever counted?
So here we go. Here's our waving off team.
Oh, right there they are.
Bye, everybody. The ones that are smiling biggest means that they're headed home to go and have a nap.
Ah, I thought they make the most money.
That's Mike, the guy, the bagpiper, that's Mike. And the fella just to Mike's right, or Mike's left, sorry, to our right, that's Mark Southern. He is our chief operating officer.
All right, you guys rock.
And these people got moved over to the far reaches.
All right, Royce is seating us. We got the first seating. Hi, we got the first seating. 1 through 34. Yeah, so the breakfast menu consists of the sunrise skillet, spinach feta and egg souffle, smoked salmon and egg scramble, eggs benedict, buttermilk pancakes, traditional oatmeal, and field berry parfait. I'm gonna go with the smoked salmon egg scramble. They have little markers on there, the GF. Coffee, please. Thank you, Royce. Do you eat that?
You don't eat that.
I think you eat that.
But you eat that. Orange juice.
Orange, oh, that's what it is.
And fruits.
It's a fruit juice.
Yay.
Literally a fruit juice. That was my other choice, the eggs benedict. Wow, that looks really good. Wow, my salmon. Oh, thank you. Salmon and scramble. And what is yours?
Spinach.
Spinach?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's inside here.
Yeah. Give it a oil with the salmon. How is it?
Good.
Oh, you like it?
Sausage. Any sausage? There.
Salmon with scrambled eggs. And it's really good. And
passing through the city of New Westminster. While it is a city in its own right, We like to think of it as just part of the greater Vancouver area
Okay.
because of the urbanization of the area. The original bridge that was built there. The original was built in 1904, and it was a two-tier swing bridge which allowed for pedestrian as well as train traffic. And they charged a 25-cent toll per head. Now this head was a human head or a head of livestock. The fence posts here.
Wow, the old Fort Langley.
And just a remnants of the old fort there over on the right-hand side.
Oh, look at that. Oh, small town. Wow, nice. Yeah, this is a small town.
For its farming. So you would have noticed a lot of crops in there. Corn is a big one. The other one that's really popular and really big in around this area is blueberries. So right now they are in season. So if you're in Vancouver, you may have noticed a lot of things currently have blueberries in them when it comes to specialty drinks and specialty foods and desserts and such. So blueberries are very popular in the area, and so there's quite a few different blueberry farms through here as well.
See that? Bar. There's the drinks. Wow. As we climb up to the Rockies.
Neil Diamond.
Alright, this is Hell's Gate, ladies and gentlemen, right here. 13 millions of gallons of water a
They were
minute
forced onto the more difficult side of
flows
the river.
through that
And because
baby.
of this, they had to blast away at the rock face.
13 million gallons a minute.
And the effect of
Isn't that
this is that
amazing?
the Breze River at Hell's Gate was completely
Hell's
blocked with
Gate.
rubble. So 750 million liters of every minute
Whoa!
going through
That's
Hell's Gate
awesome.
there. And you might faintly be able to see those cable lines making a diagonal up into the trees on the other side of the cliff. That's the cableway that brings people down from the Trans-Canada Highway. And if we're lucky, we might see one of those cable cars coming down on the cables. And those concrete blocks in the water that I mentioned, we're going to get a view of them very shortly, allowing the salmon to swim upstream and complete their spawning cycle.
Yay for the salmon.
So yeah, it just got pointed out to me that one of those trams is making its way up the cableway now. We'll get
right
another
there,
glimpse as we come around the corner.
See the cable?
Oh, check it out. They're climbing up with the
Oh my.
cable.
Oh, scary.
Wow, there's two of them coming down too.
And there's the concrete blocks that allow the salmon safe passage through the
Oh
waters
my
of Hell's
God.
Gate.
If that
Swim
thing
up
ever
there
falls
and
in
into
that
the side,
water,
and then
look at
they
the
get
water
put back
down
in the water on the
there.
other side.
Wow,
Do you
Brana.
see a sign under the bridge there on the other side? On the other side, with
Yeah.
like a white sign with red
Yeah.
writing and a black line on
Yeah.
it. Do you all see that?
That
Huh?
one right
That's
there.
the highest level of the water ever here.
Wow!
Every June. With the spring melt, the water really rises significantly.
Wow.
Can you imagine just the water level being that high?
Almost to the
Oh,
bridge.
the water line, the black
That
line,
high.
the highest.
There, that little square white
Well,
thing
there's
on
two air
the
trams there,
cement.
one going up, one going down from the cable car station.
Oh my. Ay, ay,
And
ay.
over here we have the Visitor Center. Now, the Visitor Center made it into the Guinness World Book of Records.
There's
For having
the
the most
station.
fudge flavors. So they have a little fudge shop.
There.
And at one point they had over 240 flavors of fudge. Including
Wow.
a salmon flavored fudge.
Wow.
That's a surprise dessert for you
There,
today.
look. That's where you start from.
Wow.
And the people who work in Hell's Gate, they actually live here year round. There's some staff accommodation here for them with these red roofs over here.
Okay guys, this is the salad, and this is one of the weirdest salads I've ever seen in my life, but
No more lettuce.
Unless it's a salad.
No more lettuce.
So, we're not gonna complain. We're gonna enjoy it with an open mind.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus. Take a bite. Let me know how it is. Okay, that's it's good. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Ordered the soup.
Okay.
It's good.
So in Hawaii, when
You won't get much out of it.
All right.
in Hawaii, when we say something tastes good, we say ono.
O-N-O. O-N-O.
Ono.
Oh no. Onolicious.
My husband is Dutch descent, so we say eet smaak.
It smells.
So eat well.
Oh.
Wow.
Ah.
Try it.
Pepper.
It's good? Oh, okay. This?
Flatbread.
Wow. You know we had a flatbread last. Oh, you had the salmon.
The salmon is good.
Oh, you guys think alike, both of you.
Yeah, we don't need to.
You guys do. I mean, wow.
Wow. And
Fabulous.
this is a steak.
That's a steak, and then I had them cook it the way it was intended. So
Nice.
let's go try it.
Try it.
Tell me. Looks like there's a little artichoke on there.
Something.
Salmon is really good.
Oh, the salmon is good. Oh my
Like it
gosh.
just come out of the
The
freezer.
river, wow, it's really flaky too. I see it just break off.
Sorry, I'm gonna cut this.
Okay. Wow. Good. That's like a balsamic.
Yeah. You should drizzle it on.
Oh, drizzle it on.
How about you here?
Right here?
Yeah. Here, let's do what you get.
Wow, you got the steak.
Look at that. Fancy, fancy.
Yeah.
Okay, you gonna taste some? Look at me. Good? Soft,
It's really
tender.
soft.
Ooh. Okay, bye-bye. Aloha.
To the chef.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow.
Wow, look at that. She read your mind.
Fancy, fancy.
That's very good. When you're
That's
still
like
reactive,
half
you
of
just get a bowl
this.
of fruit. So that's very good of them to do that.
Wow, you read your mind. Isn't it?
Banana split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it? What is it, Cindy?
Like a chip of maple syrup, not maple syrup, but
Like, you know, ice cream cone, but thin.
Let's see.
like a wafer.
My opinion.
Like a wafer.
A sugar wafer or something.
Very thin. Even with the ice cream. Wow.
Tastes like unleavened bread. This is a joke. Didn't go off so well though.
Strawberry with chocolate with yummy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's really good. And it tastes sugar-free.
Look at you on our side. We're so fortunate.
I think it is sugar-free.
Sorry?
Sugar-free. That was priceless, wow. Your response was priceless.
I know. That's
No.
the engineer in him.
The engineer was just like, he came to this scientific conclusion.
That's right.
This is not true. Wow, look at that.
Oh. Over there. Sound good.
Yeah, I got it. And you can almost see a whirlpool right
So,
there.
ladies and gentlemen, we're
Yeah,
coming up to one of our highlights for the day.
And we get to share our lunch with two magnificent people. Thank you.
Objects as I said earlier. And that's going to be Cisco Crossing.
Cisco Crossing.
It's the only place in all of British Columbia that the Canadian Pacific Line, which is the line that
Oh,
we're
look at
traveling
cars.
on,
That's why
and the
driving.
Canadian National Line, which is the other major transcontinental railway here in Canada. So only place in British Columbia that they intersect one another. And we're speaking from the Canadian Pacific. We're going to be going under French-Canadian National Bridge, which is actually the longest single-span bridge that they have on their line. So that's coming up in about, I'd say, 1 mile from now. Cisco Crossing, the word Cisco is an anglicized First Nations word, and that word is Siska, which means unpredictable.
Wow!
The waters below. I'm sure we've all seen how turbulent the waters are.
Don't drop that camera.
Yeah, that'd be devastating.
Ah, look at that.
Wow, this is awesome. God's great. This is the bridge they call Lester's Bridge.
Why?
I don't know the name, so I'm naming it after me. Damn it. Yeah, look at that. You can see the other side of the train. Oh boy. You wanna go see? Oh, look at that.
Oh, the
Back of the train. This is what they call Avalanche Alley right here. This area here is known for avalanches. That's why they have that netting. Okay. Right here. Lytton.
The reason I got confused there is that when we travel in the opposite direction, we're taking the Canadian National Line, which is on the other side of the river. So when I came back on Friday, I was on the other side looking up, and that's because of directional running. All trains going eastbound are using the Canadian Pacific Line, and all trains westbound are using the Canadian National Line on the other side.
That's the bridge going over down there. Wow, look at this, man. Yeah, all by itself right now. Yeah. Minding his own business.
Of the event, as what we'll learn about tomorrow was when the Canadian Pacific hammered in their last spike. And the difference is with the Canadian Pacific, there was a lot more at stake. Really large osprey nest, and hopefully someone's going to be home inside the nest for us to have a look at. 3, 2, 1. Here is that massive
Wow,
nest.
for real.
Doesn't look like anyone's home. Look at that. So ospreys build large nests like that because they return to the same nest every year. And sometimes those nests get repurposed and reused by more ospreys. Later in the day, we're actually going to pass an osprey nest that was photographed more than 100 years ago. And they build their nests out of whatever they can find, so mostly dead branches and twigs and leaves. But you saw there that...
Today is the 16th, Monday, September 2019. Look at that, awesome. Look how much land you get on a real small center. Oh my gosh, yeah, we do little. Oh, maybe that's this guy's son, but you don't kill him
Ice
so
Age
far.
12,000 years ago. And it's a very cold lake, and it remains full all year round because it's fed by the Thompson River. And it's home to the Kamloops trout, which is famous around the world. It attracts anglers from everywhere for its tenacity. It puts up a huge fight, and it's able to propel itself 3 times its body length out of the water. So absolutely massive fish. Kamloops Lake is 40 kilometers long, or 25 miles. And we'll be traveling along this lake all the way into our final destination tonight of Kamloops. So keep your eyes out if you're on the right-hand side for bald eagles and ospreys looking for fish on the water banks. And on the left-hand side, look out for bighorn sheep. We see lots of them in this area. They blend in quite well to the surroundings, but they are quite noticeable by their white backsides. And because we are so close to Kamloops, myself and Adam will be coming around now to check if there's anything that we can get you to drink just before we start closing down for the day. So let us know if you would like anything to drink, or anything at all that would make you more comfortable.
Lager or pale ale? Lager, for sure.
Wow, this thing goes right up to the ledge, boy. Let me tell you. Wow. It's pretty impressive. This is Kamloops Lake. It's a big lake. Unreal. All fresh water. Look at that.
Did anybody have to ever see that? Nice.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I don't know where he was. Well, he was high. He was high in the water. Whoa. Thank you. Aloha. Wow.
Yay, darkness.
Wow, it's a long one. Wow, for real. Beauty. Look at how long.
We're still in the tunnel.
Yeah, how long? Oh, this is all the way to come on, Kamloops. Yeah. There's our train.
And Kamloops still has a very rich First Nations heritage to this day. In fact, the area that we travel in on just before we arrive at the station is land that still belongs to the First Nations people. And we'll see some evidence of that with the street signs are actually written in their First Nations language. So it's quite interesting. But yeah, so the fur trade and then the gold rush. This was a great place for people who were going up further north for the Caribou Gold Rush, which is another one of the gold rushes that we had here in BC. But third, the biggest expansion was farming. So cattle farming is Kamloops' main industry. And cattle here actually outnumber the people 3 to 1.
Wow.
There's over 250,000 heads of cattle. So yeah, huge amount of cattle farming. But the second biggest industry is tourism. How many people do you think the Rocky Mountaineer brings into Kamloops every year? The answer is 90,000. So as many as the population, that's how many people we're bringing in every day. So if you go to a restaurant, if you go to a shop, let them know that you're coming off the train. They're so happy to have you. They'll greet you with a big smile and give you that extra special service. And Kamloops, the word, comes from the First Nations word Kamloops. You see that written everywhere, and that means the meeting of the waters. And those two rivers that meet here in Kamloops are the South Thompson River and, believe it or not, the North Thompson River.
Wow.
And they form a confluence here right in the middle of Kamloops. If you want to see that confluence, I suggest walking down to Riverside Park. It's on the map that I gave you earlier, and it's a really nice place to just sit and relax and maybe go for a walk off those calories and enjoy a nice drink. And there's a Scoops ice cream store there as well, so have an ice cream, walk along the water, and if you're not in the mood for a big meal. And what else can I tell you about Kamloops? Oh, it's also, they dub themselves as being the tournament capital of Canada. And the reason for that is it's really well placed in the center of the province, right between three major cities, and that's Vancouver, Calgary, and Edmonton. So all the sports teams, they like to come to Kamloops to play their matches against each other because it's the most central location. And you see evidence of that. There's a massive ice arena right next to the station. And when we leave tomorrow morning, you'll see softball diamonds and rugby fields. And if there's a sport you can play, you'll play it in Kamloops. You'll find somewhere. And yeah, also a huge amount of the population is here for the Thompson Rivers University. It's quite a major university for the interior here and for British Columbia. So that's a bit about Kamloops. Hope that you've had an amazing first day on board the Rocky Mountaineer. We saw some amazing things. I always like to do a recap, leaving Vancouver and following the banks of the Fraser River. And they will be here at Riverside Park for the next, I think, 2 hours or so to meet you and chat with you and get a photograph if you want. So come down to Riverside Park and you'll be able to meet the Mountain Patrol.